Let's break into this case here. Into the murder of. Let's go into the story of the murder of Jason Mizell, who was also known as Jam Master Jay. Let's deep dive into his murder. Jam Master Jay was one of the most influential figures in hip hop history. One third of the hip hop rap group Run DMC, he was known for his talent on the turntables, turning cutting and scratching into an art form that could never be imitated and not be matched. But the world was stunned in October of 2002 when the news broke that he was shot and killed inside his Queens, New York recording studio. The case just went unsolved until last year, until 2024, when the two men were convicted of his murder. This week, another shocking twist in the case: the conviction, the conviction of one of the men, the DJ's godson, who happened to be Cole Jordan Jr. It was overturned as the judge ruled that there was insufficient evidence of a motive. We're breaking down the details behind one of the most infamous cold cases in hip hop history, musical beginnings. Born January the 21st, 1965, Jason Mizell was a musician. From a young age, he grew up playing bass. Like, let's say he grew up playing bass or something, or bass. Uh, he was playing drums and a guitar long before he became a DJ. The makings of a DJ. Mizell's family eventually moved to the Hollis section of Queens. There he discovered DJing at the age of 13, and he began using his skill to entertain the crowds at parks and parties around his neighborhood. There's joining Run DMC right here. This is him and Joseph Simmons, who had to be Run before he became Reverend Run. DMC especially. That's Daryl McDaniels. You know what I'm saying? This picture was already been taken in March of 1985, but in 1982, man, him and yeah, Mizell, Simmons, and McDaniels, they've been doing them shows since what, 1982. But he just did what he did what he can to help these guys. But let me take you back to almost 44 years ago when Jason Jam Master J Mizell joined Joseph Reverend Run Simmons and Daryl DMC McDaniels as a DJ for their groundbreaking hip hop group Run DMC. The group is known The group is so known for the hits like "It's Like That" and "Peter Piper." These guys were the hip hop pioneers who made history when their self-titled debut album became their first rap album to reach the gold status. There's a look right there in 1985, right there. Along with their hit records, Run DMC was so known for their style, rocking the Kangol hats, shell-toe Adidas sneakers with no laces, of course, and them fat gold chains on the regular. It takes you right all the way to it takes you right all the way to that murder here, a shocking murder until late 1980s right here. This is a picture of one DMC and J at a restaurant. It's called B. Smith's Restaurant. It's called B. Smith's Restaurant in New York. It was in the late 1980s. We'll take you all the way to 2002, where the world was so stunned when the news broke that Jam Master Jay had been shot to death at his Queens, New York recording studio while working on some new music. But a cold case indeed. According to ABC 7 New York, there was no evidence or video footage at the crime scene, making the investigators' work in finding the killer even harder. The case went unsolved for more than 20 years. There's a conviction. There's a conviction of the guy who killed Jama Sujay, his own godson. After a long month, after a month-long trial to begin with, a federal jury in Brooklyn, New York, found the godson of the late Jam Master Jay. Yeah, they found. Yeah, that's what happened in Brooklyn. Uh, Let me tell you about a federal jury in Brooklyn. They have already found the godson of the late Jam Master Jay, Carl Jordan Jr., and a longtime friend of his, Ronald Washington, guilty of his murder in early 2024. That was February of last year. The prosecution had argued that the murder that was like the murder and the retaliation of for what drug deal gone wrong. The shocking update, indeed, on December 19th, United States District Judge LaShawn D.R.C. Hall, who had presided over the trial, overturned the conviction of Carl Jordan Jr. for his godfather's 2002 murder. Yeah, Jam Master Jay's 2002 murder. The judge has said that the prosecution did not provide enough evidence of a motive for Jordan to commit the crime. Ronald Washington's bid for an acquittal was, however, denied. However, it was denied. Yeah, they denied it. I don't know what's going to be up with the murders are just the cases are cold as far as I know of. I don't know what's up with these cold cases today. But you can't put a price on it. Oh, great! Now I gotta find out about Vincent Zampella. This guy here. Yeah, they said that he was like the creator of Call of Duty. Vince Zampella uh, dies at 55 years old in a fatal, deadly car accident. Vincent Zampella, the co-creator of the video game. Yeah, that's weird. He's like, see, I'm telling you about this man, Vince Zampella. He was the co-creator of a video game franchise, Call of Duty. Died in a single car accident on a Sunday near Los Angeles. Uh, NBC LA confirmed on a like I feel it was today or something. he was like, I was on a Monday and said like, oh, he was like 55. Zampella was so involved in a Ferrari crash on the Southern California's Angeles Crest Highway around 12:45 p.m. on a Sunday. The accident happened north of Los Angeles in the San Gabriel Mountain as the car was heading south and it hit a concrete barrier. The car caught on fire and the driver was pronounced dead at the scene. Yes, dead at the scene, according to NBC Los Angeles, that the passenger was ejected from the vehicle and later died at the hospital. With Jason West, Zampella was the co-founder of the video game developer Infinity Ward, which created the hugely successful Call of Duty series. It goes around back in 2003. After being fired by a parent company known as Activision, that's what the name is, Activision. That's the company that 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 come out with the games for which uh, he later sued for the wrongful termination and receiving a settlement. I was with Activision. Zampella had co-founded Respawn Entertainment in 2010. That's just a company that was already been around since the 2010s. Everybody else knows that, man. Everyone knows who co-founded Respawn Entertainment, and that is Vince Zampella. That's Vincent Zampella, who was the guy who was doing all the work. But he co-founded that company. It was Respawn Entertainment. He, it was almost like 16 years ago. He co-founded it, but after Zampella had left in 2013, man, that was almost like 12 years later. Almost it was like not almost 12 years later. It was almost like 13 years later that that Zampella had left. But the studio had went on to make those hit games like the Titanfall, the Apex Legends, the Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and there's more of them. Yeah, they have some going on about Call of Duty. Next 2025 Activision's monster takeover of Las Vegas for Black Ops 7 reveals. Looks like I'm going to have to go take some chances. RIP Vincent Zampella, who was the creator of the Call of Duty franchise. Let me see what they have here. All right, let's find out what's happening inside it. We're going to Variety. The stage is being set in Sin City. It was on that phone one night. This is from like September. The stage is being set in Sin City tonight ahead of Activision's Call of Duty next event Tuesday when the Microsoft owned publisher will unveil major gameplay aspects of its upcoming Call of Duty Black Ops 7 game. An annual tradition. Seriously, man, can't do nothing. See, I'm about to go start this shit over. Go Because people at Variety thinks it's a fucking joke to them. Let me start over. Inside Call of Duty Next 2025 and Activision's monster takeover of Las Vegas for Black Ops 7 reveals. It takes me right back to September. The stage is being set in Las Vegas tonight, ahead of Activision's Call of Duty Next event Tuesday, when the Microsoft-owned publisher will unveil the major gameplay aspects of its upcoming Call of Duty Black Ops 7 game. An annual tradition. Next is when COD shows off its multiplayer and zombies modes in a live stream presentation taking place at 9 a.m. PT slash 12 p.m. ET. But also the servers also serves in in-person experience for the press and influencers to get their hands on the exposure to the latest installment and be wowed. That's where word comes from. Wowed by the over-the-top activations promoting the title. This year, Call of Duty marketing team partnered with West Coast Customs. Man, that's the place that started tricking out the vehicles to bring a specific aspect of Black Ops 7 to life, a real life version of the in game Wonder Vehicle truck. From the Black Ops 7 Zombies mode, her activation in the new Call of Duty Black Ops 7 Zombies mode, players will be able to work together to upgrade the Wonder vehicles and traverse the ashes of the damned map, running over and escaping hordes of zombies. There's that truck right there. They called it the Wonder vehicle. That's what they called it, the Wonder vehicle that had the flamethrower that was on top of the hood. Don't even know why it's there. As seen in the photo above, the Wonder vehicle is complete with triple abomination heads on the hood. Yeah, triple abomination heads on the hood, turret on the top, and a pack a punch machine in the back. For more on what to expect out of this year's Call of Duty Next, Variety have spoke with Activision marketing chief Tyler Ball, and there's a mention about what are the main features of this year's Next. And it says Call of Duty Next is all about showcasing and celebrating games with our passionate community. And this year, we really wanted to go bigger. Wanted to go bigger. We're hosting Next at Area 15 in Las Vegas. It's a futuristic and immersive venue that perfectly matches the energy of Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Fans will see the very first hands on gameplay across our ever popular multiplayer mode, fan favorite zombies mode. That's where that's what words it came from. Fan favorite zombies mode, and our new free to play Call of Duty Warzone Resurgence experience called Haven's Hollow. For the first time at Next, we're also hosting the World Series of Warzone WSOW, our high stakes competition with over 150 players competing for a $1 million prize pool, alongside the return of the Call of Duty Endowment, the CODE Bowl 6, presented by the USAA. On top of that, we've layered in some unreal activations, including a real life zombies wonder vehicle. They know how to spell wonder. They forgot to put an O in wonder. Why you put a U in wonder? eh, including a real-life zombies wonder vehicle, an animatronic TEDD robot that interacts with, yes, what's called TED. It's a TED robot, the thing that just interacts with people on the site. And the creators racing side by sides with the Polaris out in the Mojave Desert. It's the most advanced immersive creator experience yet, and easily the most ambitious version of Next we've ever done. They're asking about questions about how did how did doing two Black Ops games back to back affect planning for this year's event? And they answered with moving directly into the Call of Duty Black Ops 7 gave us a chance to think differently. As words, think differently about momentum. We knew the audience had high expectations, so the focus was on making next feel fresh, unexpected, and larger in scale. That's why we lean into building a more immersive venue, a venue space by using the latest technology and push harder on the community elements with WSOW and expanded creator participation. We wanted fans to feel that the next showcase just it isn't just continuing, it's evolving in ambitious new ways. Movie choice is stupid. Movie choice is stupid speaker. These speakers act like an ass. Movie choice is a piece of shit. All right, let me start with this. Moving directly into the Call of Duty Black Ops 7 gave us a chance to think differently about the momentum. We knew the audience had high expectations, so the focus was on making next feel fresh, unexpected, and larger in scale. That's why we leaned into building a more immersive venue space, using the latest technology and pushed harder on community elements with WSOW and expanded creator participation. We wanted fans to feel that the next showcase isn't just continuing, it's evolving in ambitious new ways. I don't care about the privacy rights now. Okay, they're asking that question like, what did you want to do differently? The answering with this year we wanted to do more than just share new content. We aimed to make next the most immersive experience yet to showcase not only Black Ops 7, but across the board with Call of Duty Warzone, Call of Duty Mobile, CODE Bowl 6, and the World Series of Warzone. And this year, we brought next to Las Vegas at a venue that perfectly fits the near future timeline of Black Ops 7. There's another question that's out there. What a particularly star, yeah, that's what it says. What a particularly star-studded cast for Black Ops 7. Are you incorporating those actors into next and how? And they give them an answer with, the cast is a huge part of Call of Duty Black Ops 7's identity. And while they won't be front and center at next, we've still found ways to weave them into the experience. You'll see them featured in select moments via behind the scenes content that helps set up the gameplay reveals. They may not be the focus of the event itself, as fans will need to wait and find until we find the way. No, 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 I got messed it all up now. As fans will need to wait until we get closer to launch to see more there. But they're essential to bringing the narrative of the new Call of Duty game to life and shaping how fans connect with the world of Black Ops. There's this question here. What can you tease about what influencers and press will get to see in person and participate in versus the live stream content? That's gonna be a long one, dudes. It's gonna be a long one, dudes. Really, really short one, dude. In-person attendees. That's what it is. It says in-person attendees have an incredible weekend. That's what it says. Let me restart this over. In-person attendees have an incredible weekend in store in Las Vegas. But given the scale of our audience globally, it's impossible to bring everyone out to next. So the goal has always been to bring the experience to our fans and community. That's why, yes, word and community. That's why hosting creators and press is so important. They get the first hands on with the new game. They see the builds. They see the builds from the game like the Wonder Vehicle and the TED, the TEDD. And they spend the time with our talented group of Call of Duty developers. Then they stream and share that access and perspective with millions of fans who couldn't be there in person. The live stream delivers the big global moments for us, but it's the creators and press who help carry the depth and excitement up next directly to the community. I don't feel like reading anymore. This crap. Don't feel like reading anymore. This bullshit. It's too much for me to read. It's too goddamn much for me to read. But R.I.P. to R.I.P. to Call of Duty co-creator. Yeah, recipes to recipes to the guy who co-created this Call of Duty franchise, Vincent Sampella. You know what I'm saying? Dead at the age of 55 in a car accident. And all the condolences go out to his family and friends. I'm not touching on what happened with Trump suspending all this large offshore wind farms under construction, threatening uh thousands of jobs and cheaper energy. I don't even give a shit. I just take this like I just take this like Eric Jaglisik said on the American Greed documentary. I really don't give a shit. Instead of saying I don't give a crap. See, Eric Jaglisik has already uh been dealing with law enforcement. He ends up threatening officials. I don't know why I feel bad for that dude because this man had this man had all sorts of posters on his wall at his house in Illinois. He had two Ice T posters. Six the Return of the Real Six, the album that was from like 1996. That's the album poster that was from like 96. You got Original Gangster. That's Ice's album from like 1991. They got two album posters that was from 1991 and 1996. I would listen to Ice T's album, Return of the Real Six. Listen to that album. I listened to that album while I was already out on the road. You know what I'm saying? And while I was already handling some business there by going out. Even though I get ready to go home, after I handle some business, you know, I'll usually walk home. I'll listen to Ice T on, when I have my earphones hooked onto my cell phone. So I listened to the album to get through. So I already listened to a bunch of rap songs. But the song called Pimp Anthem kind of almost reminds me of it kind of almost reminds me of the song that Joey Mafia came out with, like Players Anthem. See, the Pimp Anthem kind of reminds me of Players Anthem. It's two different songs. Like 1995, 1996 type of eras. Anybody could listen to a song, it could have meant something. Like it's like being a pimp and being a player is too much to begin. Oh no, the guy. Do I have to go keep touching in on this bullshit? Fuck, motherfucker. We already lost enough people as it is, man. Kevin Arcady. Shit. I didn't want to keep touching in on this fucking guy. If I had to read this about him, I had to. If it takes me like an hour to do this bullshit, I have to. Co-creator Kevin Arcady. He dies at the age of 68. Yeah, he was the co-creator of the New York Undercover series that used to be on Fox. NYPD Blue with the Shield that used to be on, on ABC and FX. That picture was already been taken of Kevin Arcady. He also worked with the on the series like the NYPD Blue and the Shield, and launched New York Undercover alongside the guy who did the film work, uh, Richard Wolf. Yeah, that's his name, Richard Wolf. Yeah, they call him Dick. He his film company was already out in the early '90s. Okay, when Law and Order came out in 1990. Yeah, you want me to know anything about what happened to this co-creator of New York Undercover? He's dead. He's dead at the age of 68, and he's saying that they want me to know that he's the writer and the producer who is being remembered by Dick Wolf, who has his own film company, as a man who brought the voice of the next generation to cop shows. Or you want me to find out that his legacy still lives in the meaningful and memorable stories that he helped tell. Okay, Wolf Entertainment has shared in a statement. If they got care, must be. Yeah, I know that. Let me go read this shit here. It only takes me a whole another hour to do this shit. Almost about an hour. The TV writer and producer who also worked on other police and crime dramas such as NYPD Blue with Dennis Franz, who is already on it, and The Shield. I think it was when Michael Chiklis was already in this. What was in that show? I think this was after The Commissioner. Well, let me tell you about this guy. He's saying that the TV writer and producer who also worked on other police and crime dramas such as NYPD Blue and The Shield died on Wednesday, December the 17th. That's last Wednesday. Deadline had first reported that Kevin Arcady had said this in July via Instagram that he was dealing with a kidney failure. However, his manner of death has not been revealed or shared. Dick Wolf, who created New York Undercover, he already did his work. His name was already been done on the Law and Order show. He's creating New York Undercover. He's doing work for Law and Order. Why he create New York Undercover? Now they're saying that something about Dick Wolf especially. He had Wolf Films. He had Wolf Entertainment. Um, Dick Wolf, who had created New York Undercover alongside Kevin Arcady, uh, paid tribute to the late producer in a statement shared with Deadline. He said that Kevin brought the voice of the next generation to cop shows and was instrumental in bringing diversity to the forefront of the network television genre like it did. See, Wolf was like let me see about let's see Richard Dick Wolf. He was like 79 years old. Started saying this. He's saying that we will all miss him. He meant this man. He meant Kevin Arcady. See, the picture was already been taken of Kevin Arcady in early 2017. So who cares? New York Undercover debuted on Fox in 1994 and ran for 4 seasons until 1999, where it's about to be canceled, marking the first U.S. cop drama to feature two people of color. As the series leads on, it followed undercover detectives like Lee Gilbert, who played as Detective J.C. Williams. Well, J.C. means Julius Clarence, and Michael De Lorenzo as Detective Eddie Torres. Eddie is like short for Edward. Short for Edward. Uh, as they investigated crimes in the city, Wolf Entertainment shared a statement after Arcady's death, calling Undercover one of the most groundbreaking series in television history to date. Beyond his creative achievements, Kevin was a trusted collaborator and a generous presence. The production company continued and his legacy lives on in the meaningful and memorable stories he helped tell. We remain grateful for his contributions, and he will be deeply missed and always remembered. Arcady, who was born in Washington, eventually relocated to Los Angeles and wrote for several shows in the late 1980s and the early 1990s. His earlier writing work have included the ABC drama it's called Night Watch and NBC's I'll Fly Away. He also producer He's also a producer on the CBS's Chicago Hope series, ABC's NYPD Blue crime series, FX's The Shield series, and more. He also wrote on the NBC miniseries. The NBC miniseries that NBC had done was called The Temptations, and he's serving as a showrunner of BET's Sacrifice for 2 seasons. Arcady was a two-time Emmy nominee in 1996 and 1998. Well, in 1996 and 1998. That was in the Outstanding Drama series category for both Chicago Hope that was from CBS, and NYPD Blue that was from ABC. Yep. Oh, great. He's trying to do some air work. Okay, Kevin is doing some air work. Okay, mostly recently, more recently, like I had to read here. Arcady was working alongside Tony winner Lamar Richardson and Zaire Julian Richardson's IB Lion Productions on the TV project called Freeman Ranch. In a statement shared with People, Lamar called Arcady a true team player who was never afraid to have tough conversations, and we'll remember that he always led with respect and deference. He added, "We'll cherish the time we spent with him." That's what he says. That's what he's been adding now. Like, let me do that. We'll cherish the time we spent with him, and will forever say his name. May flights of angels sing him to sweet rest, and may his soul rest in peace. His mark on his industry will truly never be forgotten. Arcady, Kevin Arcady, is survived by his wife and family, and a celebration of life planned for the next year. Per deadline. Seriously, seriously, it's got stop feeding me all these people that stop feeding me all these people that's already dying. Chris Rea, come on, no more of this bullshit. I don't want to read no more of this man. That makes me sick to my stomach. God, this too. I gotta turn this into WWL news now with this bullshit. Chris Rea, the singer, the musician behind the festive classic "Driving Home for Christmas," has died at the age of 74. He died Monday in the hospital following a short illness. A spokesperson for his family said in a statement on behalf of his wife and two children. They said, "It is with immense sadness that we announce the death of our beloved Chris." He passed away peacefully in the hospital earlier today following a short illness. Surrounded by his family, the blues influenced star had a string of hits, including Auberge. That's word, not Auberge. I think it was pronounced Auberge. Auberge. That's what it's pronounced. On the Beach and Road to Hell. The first, released in 1986, Driving Home for Christmas tells the story of a weary traveler making his way home in a heavy traffic. This year, it has been brought to new audiences as the backdrop of the to the M&S Food Christmas advert. The singer-songwriter has suffered with the various bouts of ill health over the years. The Middlesbrough-born native, who had been with his wife Joan since they were both 16, they were teenagers then, had his pancreas removed a few years after being diagnosed with a pancreatic cancer. At the age at the age of just 33 in 1994, and then he had a stroke. And then he had a stroke in 2016. The star will never forget his roots and where he came from. Like telling Saga magazine that like last year that he mentioned that I've always had a difficult relationship with fame, even before my first illness. That's what Chris Rea have already told him that already. And he mentioned like none of my heroes were rock stars. I arrived in Hollywood for the Grammy Awards once and thought I was going to bump into people who mattered like Ry Cooder and Randy Newman, but I was surrounded by pop stars. But the celebrity thing has gone totally wrong in the sense that everyone has tried to top each other. They don't put the work in. Oh, let's say how he said it. The celeb the celeb thing has let me see, let me read this here. Like Chris has said. The celeb thing has gone totally wrong in the sense that everyone has tried to top each other. They don't put the work in. That's all it there. That's from BBC. See, this news was already been out since. Let me see. This news was already out like 2 minutes ago, like 8 hours ago. This news was out like 8 hours ago. That came from the BBC News. Seriously, no more, no more, no more, no more of these, no more of the dead people, please, please, no more dead people. Nope, no more death for me. No more, no more dead people for me. I don't want to read nothing about an ex-Marion coach who was in Central Florida has died. I don't want to read this shit. It's too much. Go ahead and play a video of it. Well, Barry Manilow, he's glad we'll cancel those tour dates anyway. Yeah, that's more. Yeah, go and get too much death. Can't even deal with this. Too much death. It's too much death in Hollywood. It's too much death in Hollywood, bro. All this regarding Zampanella and Rhea and Arcady is too much now. Now I gotta go. Now I gotta go search for those people now. Let me do this in one search at a time. Chris Rhea. Chris Rhea. Damn. I did not even know that he died today. I did not even know that Christopher Anton Rhea had died today. Shit. That's what fucks me up. All these other singers, you know, have passed away and they already passed on. Let me type in the name Christopher Anton Rhea. I'll type in memory of. March 4th, 1951. March 4th, 1951. Got it. Yeah, he died today. I get two or three in memories. Okay, let me go search. Let me go search for. No, I don't want to do that. Find Kevin or Katie. I'll find Kevin or Katie before I have to find. Let me find Kevin or Katie before I have to go find uh, Vince Sampella. Let me get some of this Wikipedia. You get some of that Wikipedia meat, man. Yeah, let me go get some of that Wikipedia meat, man. I'm hungry for that Wikipedia meat. Let me have that. Shit. This bio, I don't even fucking know where this bio came from. Damn. Fuck am I supposed to? How am I supposed to find this shit? And I couldn't even find his age then. Couldn't even find his age, whatever. Oh shit. Already went through the MSN. I already went through the whatchamacallit already. Oh, pneumonia. He probably died from that. Kevin or Katie. I know he died from that. I did not even know he was gonna die from that. Damn, I can't even just put on something. This is starting to suck. This is starting to suck. Let's see. I went through the deadline shit already. I went through the deadline shit already. I don't know I could go through all this other shit now. And they didn't tell me anything about his age. Shit. Rob Reiner. I forgot all about Rob Reiner. I gotta go put his name in there too. Diane Ladd, I already put Diane Ladd's name. I could put her name in it now. I couldn't do what to do. I could have put her name in it. Tom Stoppard, I couldn't even memorialize all these people, bro. I couldn't memorialize them all. Shit. Can't do it. I'll put Rob Reiner's name in everything else. Okay, Rob Reiner was born in 1947. I already forgot all about his age difference. Okay, Rob Reiner. I gotta go find his name, his age. I might just go get Vincent Sampella then. Shit, I might just go add 3 people onto it then. Let's add 2 or 3 people onto this stream then. I need to go find out how old he was, man. 1970. Vince Sampella, born in 1970. Okay, now we're talking. No date. Okay, we'll put in memory. I will just put in memory of Vincent Zampella. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna put out in memory. I'm gonna just go put out in memory of Vincent Zampella. That's what I'm gonna do. It's 5:39. I can handle it's 5:39. I can handle a whole fucking live show to bust in. Okay, Stam Vincent Zampella. Born 1970. Died this year. Okay, got 3 names to write. Yeah, it takes me like an hour. It takes me like damn near almost an hour to do this shit. See, this I had this with me here. It's a one of the essentials right here. It's a 4 port travel hub. This is from Best Buy Essentials right here. Show you. Show you right here. See this? Best is from Best Buy Essentials. It's from the name of a store that's already been shut down in Metairie. I don't know how many Best Buys do they have in every single state in this fucking country. I got cops catching one clown running from them right by the Geek Squad vans. They usually have the Geek Squad van parked in the parking lot. There's one, 2 or 3 or 4 Geek Squad vans that's parked in the parking lot. So they caught the dude in the yellow shirt. He's trying to run. The guy's girlfriend who was starting up the Jeep. The guy's girlfriend who was already who was about to be starting the Jeep. The cowboy told his girlfriend like, hey, turn the car off. So she turned the car off and she came out the car. They arrested her. They arrested her for um, I think it's for I think it's for shoplifting. It was her and her boyfriend. Yeah, they got arrested for theft of stolen items. The SMEG machine that these guys have took, the cops had to go recover the stolen items and bring them right back to inside Best Buy. one thing I remember was like around the summer of 1995 when all five of us used to go to the to a baseball game. It was Avis Martin, myself, my grandfather James Shaw Sr. Rest in peace. Jamar Morton and Lewis Shaw Jr. It was all five of us in a car. It's all five of us in the Cadillac. Uh, my grandfather James has started taking all four of us to a baseball game. It was in a stadium that was way in Gentilly. It was almost like 31 years ago. So that I just remember. So all these things I remember was like one of those memories I have of him is all four of us riding with him in a white Cadillac. It was a Coupe de Ville, so it's an old car. So don't know what happened to that car then. My grandfather used to have insurance on the white Pontiac Grand Prix, I think, and right before he had the insurance on the white Cadillac Coupe de Ville though. I don't think he had any of those cars anymore. Right before he had the red Cavalier and the red Escort that my cousin Matthew Shaw doesn't have any insurance for him to keep. So my cousin uh, gave my cousin gave my grandfather the red Ford Escort. I don't think he had that car. I don't think my grandfather had that car anymore. So the Cavalier he doesn't even have that car anymore. So that car is gone. All the cars he got, they're gone. So my uncle he already had like two or three vehicles already remaining. Uh, Now he had the gray Ford F1 the gray F-150. It was a two-door pickup truck. The white the white Mercedes Benz SUV. That'll be for him and his wife Ejel Wimby. Only they take turns driving that SUV. It's probably under my uncle's name. It's probably my under my uncle Fabian Shaw's name anyway. But the car is for his wife, for his wife Ejel. So he had the Mustang. I don't even think he had the Mustang anymore, but he had the black Camry now. He had the black Toyota. He had the black Toyota Camry now. Because of his injuries from like last year, he couldn't even drive places. He couldn't be able to drive to all those places because he had the back injury that was dating back from his car accident. But he's still stuck with that white BMW uh, convertible vehicle. That was in my auntie's name. It was still in his neighborhood. It was still in his neighborhood. It was still, but it was still there. It was still there. But rest in peace to rest in peace to singer Christopher Anton Christopher Anton Ria. You know what I'm saying? Born March 4th, 1951, and died today. Robert Reiner, born 1947 and then died this year. Uh, Vincent Zampella, who was the creator for the Call of Duty franchise. Uh, Remember this guy who was doing the co-creating the franchise of Call of Duty? Vincent Zampella. He passed away today. He was born in 1970, and he passed away. He passed away this year. Rest in peace to those three men. Rest in peace to those three men that died. They'll all be missed. They'll all be missed. But may they all rest in peace.